Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Gaurav Wadhwa. I am the editor in chief for Future of Jobs. At Future of Jobs, we talk to various industry experts to explore the direction of what future of work might look like. What are the new trends? How does an employee takes care of his mental health? How can a company build a culture? To answer these questions and dive deep into the discussion, I have Mr. Abhishek Mishra with me today. Abhishek is a very accomplished professional. He's a lifelong learner. uh, Built his career in human resources, talent development, coaching, and entrepreneurship. He comes with 20 years of experience, and he's currently uh, you know coaching a lot of senior professionals, senior leaders in their own journey. He's obviously done a PGDM in HR, and then an international MBA from France. Abhishek, thank you so much for being here, brother. I am very excited about today's podcast. With the kind of expertise that you come with, I'm sure I'll learn a lot of things myself.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for a great and detailed context setting introduction. Thank you so much, and I'm extremely honored, extremely excited, thrilled to be here talking to you about the journey, about what we have discussed, and what is there in our store today, right? So let's talk about it.
Great. So, Abhishek, the first question obviously is your journey. I would like to know more about you beyond the MBA, beyond the HR, and what, like, why your why effectively.
All right. So my why is. So if I give you just where I belong to, I belong to a place called Bokaro in Jharkhand. I was born and raised in Bokaro. Schooling happened in Bokaro, and then for college I moved to Delhi. Completed my degree in IT. So I'm an IT graduate, information technology, tech graduate. Joined Wipro in Calcutta as a career in tech support. Soon I realized that I'm more into people skill. I love talking to people. I love interacting with them, their success stories, discussion, how I can help them. So I moved not into HR in Wipro, but yes, I started kind of shadowing my TA team. I had a few friends, so I used to sit with them. I used to listen to their calls, how they used to talk, how they used to interact, and what are the kind of qualities that one should have for that being an effective HR or for being a very charismatic HR. And that's where that stayed with me throughout. From there, my journey started with Reliance Retail in HR. I moved across three locations, Ranchi, Pune, and Mumbai. And from there, I kept moving. So it was all three locations. Then I was in Gurgaon for some time. Again, I came back after completing my PGDM from Symbiosis. Uh, so the journey, why it shaped up really well because now I was technically certified HR. I completed my MBA in HR, so that was more interesting. So I moved to Mumbai. From Mumbai, I got transferred to Delhi in Arshia International, and there my journey started. I shifted to Bangalore for some personal reasons, and ever since I have been in Bangalore for last 12, 13 years, and I started my journey as a consultant in 2016. And my journey of entrepreneurship started in 2019 when I realized that whatever I'm working as a consultant, it has to be shaped up in a color and a proper shape. So I thought, let me establish my own company. And that's where I started my company called The Perennial Global.
What is this
And
company all about? Can you give me a little more detail? Like, what is it that you're trying to? How do you help people with this?
so the Perennial Global is all about people transformation. So if you ask me that, Abhishek, what do you do in one line or two words? I help or I enable people transforming their lives and I'll come to that journey part and that side of my life a little later. So this Perennial Global was born with a very core purpose of helping people in their transformation, in their development, in their journey. And the right word that I always work around in the pillars of the Perennial Global has been is self-awareness, mindfulness, and emotional resilience. So these are the pillars that I utilize, I harness the power to nurture the talent, to nurture the people, to understand the their awareness, their perspective, what they want to achieve, what they want to do in their life. So that's the whole purpose of this entire organization, including various intervention. It could be L&D, it could be coaching, it could be mindfulness, or it could be even a very highly customized coaching session which has a blend of mindfulness, which has a blend of self awareness, reflective questions, and all of it. I mean, including all the frameworks that we generally use, including Grow, Clear, Oscar, and all of it. So my journey shaped up after pandemic. I had to come back to the mainstream for some time, of course, to run the entire show. I had to come back to the mainstream for some time. 2023, 2022 June, I joined the company called the Scalers in Bangalore. I worked with them almost for 2.5 years, and got selected with one of the prestigious B schools in France called Audencia in Nantes, Audencia Business School in France. And then I was there for a year, completed my MBA, came back, and now I'm again back to the perennial global, my journey, and the journey of helping people to transform how they are, and what they want to become over a period of time.
So you're a perfect speaker for me, for somebody who's listening, who is sort of, struggling in his career in a sense that, you know, they picked up some stream because of parental pressure or something, and then they don't feel fulfilled in their career.
Correct.
And now they're not sure what to do. So, in fact, my next question is specifically towards that only, that how should one go about his career? Is it about career growth, or is it about inner peace or inner growth, as you would say?
Uh, so that's a very valid question, Gaurav, for a reason that most of us, including me, if I look at my journey back then, I just picked up my journey because I completed my degree in IT, so I wanted to be an IT professional. However, by the God's grace, I was fortunate enough, I was blessed enough that I realized that I'm more into people skill. And within a year, I could upgrade myself. And with the passion that I had, the hunger for learning, I was selected with Reliance Retail. So what my learning has been so far is it has to be blended really well. So for an example, what I love doing, I love interacting with people, love talking to them, love understanding their aspiration and how I can be a part of their journey in order to enable them, nurture them, and accelerate their journey in terms of who they are, how they are, their conduct, without judging, without any bringing any bias, human bias or prejudice into that. It's all about what I want to do. To answer your question, it's all about what I want to do. So, for an example, I love teaching, right? However, my parents or somebody, or maybe my family, relatives, my friend, want me to do something else. So the question is, my heart is not aligned to what people have suggested me to do, and I want to do something else. And the very perfect example could be the Three Idiots movie, right? I want to bring it here. The character wherein he wanted to be a wildlife photographer, and he was pursuing just engineering because of his parents wanted him to do that. So understand that everybody wants to become something in their life. So my point here is always marry your passion, what you love to do in your life, and then see that what you are meant to do, what you are meant to add to this world. If you are becoming a photographer, be the world class photographer. If you are getting into art and craft, get into a world class art and craft. If you're getting into any kind of sports, get into that level of sports which takes you to a world class. So do whatever is aligned to your potential. Gaurav, I have understood one thing. Everyone on this earth is born with a great potential. That's the reason there's only one Gaurav Wadhwa, there's only one Abhishek Mishra, there's only one person, there's only one version of each one of us on this earth. So, what is the potential that we bring here on this earth? How to harness that and how to make a bestest use of that? So, understand that, polish it, harness that, and bring it to the table. That's all I would say this. So, and to bring it forth, what we need is self-awareness. If I'm aware that what I have, what I want to be, that's where my navigation becomes really easier to understand where my journey is taking me towards. If I'm really happy, if I'm happy, great. How I can be more happier and how I can add value to others' life. And if I'm not happy, why I'm not happy. So it's all about self-awareness.
But how does one pivot? Like you moved from IT to HR to now learning and development and coaching people. How does one pivot? I mean, as a recruiter myself, I've
Hmm.
devoted my life to recruitment. I mean, India is not. I'm not. I think maybe other countries are still very forgiving about midlife career change, but India as a country is not very forgiving. I mean, if you do one thing for 5 years, you're labeled as that guy for the rest of your life. And I see a lot of people, who want to change, but they can't because then they're asked, कि भैया आप चलो आधी salary पे आ जाओ, and
Hmm.
then how do you run your house? All those things are very, very difficult in Indian setup. So how does one pivot midlife?
That's a very valid and powerful question, Gaurav, and that's where I said self-awareness. Tell me anyone who is self-aware why anybody will spend 5 or 7 years in the wrong profession.
Family responsibilities. I've seen people, they do it just for family responsibilities.
Agree. I mean, of course, in Indian context, you as you said that it's not very forgiving.
Mm.
And what I have seen
And
is,
second
hmm,
thing I've seen is that people, because half the time, they are not sure themselves, or like you said, self-aware, and maybe society pressure, family pressure, something like that. Those, I mean, it's a combination of all three. I'm sure you've met a lot of these sort of people yourself as well. So it's a very, very log kya kahenge type wala situation. It happens,
correct,
कि
correct,
मतलब अगर suppose if I'm making 50,000 now, and if I have to go back and start my career at 20,000, A, how am I going to make my household expenses? B, लोग क्या कहेंगे? C, am I sure myself? I mean, somebody who's 2 years experience is what, 20, 21, 22 years.
correct.
Still, we are still, I mean, though, he's adult, but we know, I mean, that a very early stage of their career, so maybe not very self-aware themselves.
Absolutely right. And then there's no one answer to it, Gaurav. To be very transparent, there's no one answer to it. For an example, my journey was very different. Within 1 year, I realized and I pivoted. For some people, you said 5 years, for 7 years. For some people, this becomes just a journey. They like it or they don't like it. Since they have taken a loan to pay the EMI, they will have to just carry on with their job.
होम लोन तो सबसे बड़ा स्यापा है. I mean, people
Exactly.
take loan for their life and they're slaves now. This is actually like a new version of slavery.
Exactly. So home loan ले लिया, car loan ले लिया, any kind of loan, and then people will have to keep slogging just because I have, I mean, the person they have an EMI and they can't move out.
Hmm.
Uh, I think it's all about again. I will not call it luck, but if I will just transform the version of my answer, Gaurav, what I've realized since I come from a healing space, I come from a mindfulness and meditation space. What I've realized is all about timing as well. It's all about individual journey as well, Gaurav. So self-awareness is one that yes, I need to be self-aware. Second is also that they need to keep trying internally in the company that they're working with, building the rapport if they can move to some other role gradually, eventually, and they can get into their dream department
Hmm.
by proving themselves. So I'm not saying that coming out, resigning, and then looking out outside. Look for a job, look for an opportunity within. In case even if you're not getting recognized and paid for that, it's also about supporting their team extra. I mean, going extra mile, maybe spending half an hour, 1 hour, maybe weekly, twice or thrice. That's how they can start creating their visibility that they are supporting their team. For an example, I want to move into quality team. I want to move into someone, say, business excellence. So I'll have to sit with them. I'll have to start contributing in that way. The company start recognizing me that, hey, Abhishek is also contributing in that way.
True. You very rightly said here. I mean, if suppose if you just want to change your department, go and sit in the department, maybe an hour every day after your work. Or
Exactly.
maybe if you want to, let's say you're an employee, you want to do something else, maybe your own business or something, start a side hustle, so that the day, you start making money equal to your salary or maybe even half of your salary, that you'll be able to survive. I think rather than taking a knee jerk reaction and chucking everything and just moving away, it's probably, it's better to go slow and sort of take a 2 year horizon and then move into that career. You're right. I mean,
Absolutely.
one question that I also face is that the whole thing is not white and black, it's more of gray. Because a lot of people, suppose if I am making that career this thing, you know and the question that I feel is that, am I really shrugging my responsibility? Am I sort of moving away from something, or is it like I'm moving towards some alignment? Like, I'll give you my journey. I am a hotel management graduate. I wanted to be a chef, though आज की डेट में मैं एक चाय नहीं बना सकता. but but there was I then I had some career changing, incident, and I really had to then change my entire thing. For
Correct.
me, it was at the beginning of my career, so I could do it. But that mental struggle also sort of then comes into play as well. That, am I really sort of moving into alignment, or I'm running away from my responsibility or something? What's your point of view on that?
So Gaurav, I think that's the challenge that everyone goes through in their life sooner or later. So the challenge that I've seen with most of the people, either they are too easy on themselves or they're too harsh. We as a human, we as an aware soul, we never get into a path wherein we talk to our own self very candidly, very transparently, very genuinely, and in a very disciplined way. Why I'm saying this for a reason that you said that you wanted to be in a hotel management folk, maybe making his career, your career in that area. However, you ended up doing a talent acquisition job. Now you're mapping talent and you're hiring them for different companies. So it's again your journey. It's this is what you're meant for, Gaurav. And if I will bring back the term that I used, time and the life purpose, the soul purpose, what I've understood in my life, and this is completely my perspective, and I'm sure you and the listener would agree to this, that everyone here on this planet Earth is born with a purpose, Gaurav. None of us is born without a purpose. Either you call it a soul purpose, life purpose, whatever. However, it is a purpose that we all are serving to. And technically, all of us are behaving and acting, and we are the medium in work actually. We are just a medium. Hindi में we call it निमित्त कि हम सारे निमित्त हैं. It happens that so technically what you're asking is there's no one answer to it. There's no one rule of thumb कि हाँ अगर गौरव की लाइफ है तो क्या फिट होगा, अभिषेक की लाइफ है तो क्या फिट होगा. There's no one size fitting everyone. अब हर लाइफ की डिजाइनिंग अलग है, हर लाइफ की जर्नी अलग है, हर लाइफ का पर्पस अलग है. एंड व्हाट डिफाइंस आवर लाइफ, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ आवर लाइफ, गौरव, is our upbringing, is our surroundings. हमारे सर्कमस्टेंस क्या रहे हैं, हमारे एक्सपीरियंसेस क्या रहे हैं, हमारे सिचुएशंस क्या रहे हैं. सबके लाइफ में फाइनेंशियल जो कुशनिंग है वो बराबर नहीं होती है, राइट? एवरीवन गेट अ डिफरेंट फाइनेंशियल कुशनिंग. आई हैड टू सपोर्ट माय फादर, सो आई हैड टू join Wipro just to support him. I didn't want him to. After that, I was selected with one of the prestigious, two, in fact, two prestigious colleges in the UK, the King's College and the Leeds Metropolitan University there. I couldn't fly because of the family reason. For I lost my dad in between. So a lot of things happened, and that's how I pivoted. I moved into HR, and the HR happened to be the employee engagement, the onboarding specialist, and all of it, all the roles that I have completed successfully. So coming back to the question that you asked, is 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 what my life is taking me towards. So sometime we need to sit back, or I would say often, at least once or twice in a week, sit with ourselves, introspect that where is my life moving? Am I in the right direction? स्पीड बहुत ज़रूरी है लाइफ में गौरव, बट डायरेक्शन भी उतनी ही ज़रूरी है. मैं दौड़ रहा हूँ बट मेरे पास डायरेक्शन नहीं है. एंड हु विल चेक द डायरेक्शन फॉर मी? except me. So I'll have to sit with myself, I'll have to check मेरी डायरेक्शन क्या है, एंड देन ग्रेजुअली पिवट करना पड़ेगा हमारे लाइफ में, ग्रेजुअली हमें शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा. देयर कैन नॉट बी अ सडन शिफ्ट और चेंज इन माय लाइफ.
But talking about your journey again, there is a very one which is one factor, which is fear.
Hmm.
Again, fear within yourself, fear of society or whatnot. Again, different for everybody. How did you overcome your own fear? Like, in your journey, you pivoted your career like twice, thrice. How did you overcome that fear?
So I, okay. So I love this song. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
Hmm.
So no matter what you do in your life, and my dad used to tell me a story of a dad and son, father and a son who used to go on donkey. So if they used to walk alongside the donkey, they used
Hmm.
to say, "Hey, कितने बेवकूफ हैं आप, गधे पे नहीं बैठ रहे हैं, right?" If they used to sit, see that you don't have mercy on a poor animal. So whatever you do, and then they carried the donkey on their shoulder and they said, see them, they're like absolutely fool. They're not utilizing the power and the quality of donkey.
Hmm.
So
True.
no matter what you do in your life, always remember, Gaurav, what is the purpose of our life? First thing, are we a people pleaser? So the answer is no. None of us are a people pleaser, first thing. The second, if we are trying to be friend to everyone, then mark my word, then we are friend to none. And it's a very old saying that if someone is friend to everyone, it means that person is friend to none.
Hmm.
Very simple, very clear. So I'm here to be on my journey. Am I clear? Am I very strong-headed? Do I have a grit and determination to do that irrespective of people say or whatever they say? I will just take the best advice and I will do whatever my heart says, my family says, and whatever is aligned to my purpose. Do I have that enough courage to do that? सो द बॉटम लाइन इज, लोग हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ बोलेंगे. आप अच्छा करेंगे तब भी बोलेंगे, बुरा करेंगे तब भी बोलेंगे, आप कुछ नहीं करेंगे तब भी बोलेंगे. सो इट्स अल्टीमेटली आवर चॉइस, इज वेरी सब्जेक्टिव. हम क्या करना चाहते हैं, हम कितना करना चाहते हैं, एंड हाउ मच वी कैन बी अ वेरी सेलेक्टिव लिसनिंग. सामने फिल्टर्स डाल के वी कैन जस्ट गो अहेड एंड डू आवर वर्क डिलीजेंटली. सिंपल.
One another thing that while you're talking, I was also thinking is that this purpose word,
हम्म.
soul purpose is also very, इसमें क्या बोलूं, मतलब इसको बहुत फिल्मी बना दिया गया है at times. You know, 90-95% of people don't know what they'll do eventually.
करेक्ट.
We all, कि चलो ठीक है, why did I join hotel management? Because that was the first, I applied to 6 places. That was the first one I got. I went. Why did I choose science over commerce? Maybe because three of my friends were going into science. So I said, चलो हम भी science कर लेते हैं. So it's not like, everybody is kind of कि हाँ मेरे को यही करना है. मे बी ये सचिन तेंदुलकर और ये विराट कोहली माइट हैव दैट पर्पस कि हाँ यार मेरे को तो क्रिकेट ही खेलना है. And they're really really great at it. They're not good, they're great at it. That's But problem happens is that when the normal जनता starts saying कि यार अरे अगर विराट कोहली कर सकता है तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. But you have to understand that maybe the sole purpose was there, plus he's really great at it. So I think one very important this thing that I sort of found is that your purpose is your contribution. Do what you're great at, and
Absolutely.
if you can marry that purpose and what you're great at, then your life is great. So a lot of times, like I said, suppose did I really wanted to be a talent acquisition professional? No, I didn't even know something like that happened. But now that I've spent 20 plus years on it, I become great at it. This is what my sole purpose is effectively. So somebody who doesn't know what should they do in their life, do what your contribution. So effectively today I am helping people in their jobs, getting in helping them in their, getting their jobs. So I find it my sole purpose in it, that okay, because of me somebody found a job. Now they can run their family. Maybe somebody was stuck with a bad job boss, bad job, bad company. I got him into a good company. I sort of fulfilled my own purpose. So I think इसको इतना फिल्मी ना करके प्रैक्टिकलिटी के साथ अगर जोड़ा जाए ना, then
करेक्ट.
and another thing that I feel is the adaptability of a person is very, very important. You know, I had a friend who wanted to go in the army. He couldn't get through. It's not like the life ended there. You have to pivot, like, we used the word pivot earlier. You pivot and you sort of be adaptable and flexible and move on to something else. And become good and great at that and sort of, then do your contribution to the society as a whole, isn't it?
Absolutely. Very, very rightly said, Gaurav. And that reminds me of the saying that if I am a fish, I cannot climb the tree. And if I'm a monkey, I cannot swim. So everyone designed for a different purpose. Gaurav is designed for a different purpose, and so is Abhishek. करेक्ट, तो
Hmm.
वो डिजाइनिंग हमें समझनी पड़ेगी कि एम आई मेंट फॉर स्विमिंग, एम आई मेंट फॉर क्लाइंबिंग, एम आई मेंट फॉर वॉकिंग, रनिंग, व्हाट एम आई मेंट फॉर? मेरी कैलिबर क्या है? व्हाट इज द इनेट कैलिबर दैट आई एम बॉर्न विथ? व्हाट आर द कैलिबर, द क्वालिटी दैट आई कैन हार्नेस, आई कैन फाइन ट्यून? मैं क्या अच्छा कर सकता हूँ? तो ये तो सिर्फ गौरव को ही पता है ना कि गौरव क्या अच्छा कर सकते हैं। अभिषेक को ही पता है कि अभिषेक क्या कर सकते हैं। मे बी वी कैन टेक अ हेल्प ऑफ सम असेसमेंट, we can take off some scientific tool to get some idea that yes, what my strengths are, what are the areas of improvement. However, it's my decision and my determination, my goal, how do I want to take it ahead, मैं कितना disciplined हूँ life में, right? Everything depends, everything makes our life beautiful and better because हम बहुत disciplined हैं, हम बहुत grateful हैं, हम बहुत resilience हैं। हमें हमें सेटबैक मिलता है बट वी बाउंस बैक वेरी सून। हमारा टर्न अराउंड टाइम ऑफ बाउंसिंग बैक इज वेरी शॉर्टर। सो लाइफ जो हमें दिखती है ना गौरव, इट्स अ टोटल आउटकम और द एमालगमेशन ऑफ लॉट मेनी वर्च्यूज दैट वी लुक एट। बहुत सारी चीजें लगती हैं तब जाके वी रिसीव दिस ब्यूटिफुल लाइफ एज एन आउटकम। अभी अभी इफ आई मे शेयर एन एग्जांपल ऑफ वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स आई वाज टॉकिंग टू, एंड ही कंडक्टेड अ placement drive on his off in his office from two colleges. I'll not name the college here in Bangalore, but the kids, they were just there. They were looking lost, and when they were asked कि what role have you applied for, have you read through the JD, आपने पढ़ा है क्या समझा है आपने JD के बारे में, they were like lost, they were like silent. So my friend asked what happened, आपने JD पढ़ा है? आपने कब अप्लाई किया, आपने क्यों डिसाइड किया, why did you want to apply for this particular job and role? The person said, no, I don't know. मेरे friends आ रहे थे तो I thought I'll also come along. That was the kind of answer.
Hmm.
Now tell me, as an interviewer, how would you feel? How would you respond to such generational gap wherein the kids are not aware where they are heading? ठीक है, मैं ये नहीं बोलता हूँ कि आप अपनी लाइफ को मैं जियो, लेकिन एटलीस्ट आर वी अवेयर, आर वी इंट्रोस्पेक्टिंग इनफ? हम बस भागे जा रहे हैं हमारे लाइफ में, वी आर जस्ट रनिंग द रेस।
But then, uh, Abhishek, again, like I said, I mean, the example that you're giving is a college kid. I'll give you another life example, real life example. My own friend, my roommate from college, when you were talking about this guy, this guy went for, this is again 20 years ago in my college campus placements. Air India came for placements, okay? Not came as in like they had to go to the office for interview. My one friend is going. He said to another of my friend, one of my other friend, कि चल तू भी मेरे साथ चल. They both ended up giving interview. The second friend is now sitting as a pilot in Air India. Just because of a serendipity, he kind of went along. He got as an air person, he got a job as a flight, this thing, flight attendant. He applied for a pilot training program, within Air India. He's now sitting as a pilot. So again, it's very baffling to think about it. कि चल वो, how did it go? Did he plan it? No. He just went along. कि चल यार तू इंटरव्यू देने जा रहा है तो मैं भी चल देता हूँ. जो जा रहा था उसका तो नहीं हुआ, जो साथ
करेक्ट।
गया उसका हो गया. And he became pilot and is now pilot. So it's
इन
how
एयर
life
इंडिया।
runs. You know,
यस।
he's very distinct. So again, वो शायद adaptability and flexibility also then comes into play.
Correct. So there are few things that happens behind the curtain also, the way life is designed, Gaurav. And if I will talk, it's all again, it's timing. कि आप रेडी थे, आपका टाइम आ गया एंड आपने क्लिक किया और आपका जस्ट यू गॉट अ ब्रेक। हाउएवर योर फर्स्ट फ्रेंड हु अप्लाइड फॉर द जॉब इन एयर इंडिया, परहैप्स उनका टाइम नहीं आया था। वो
एंड
कहते हैं
मे
ना
बी
कि
ही वाज
हर
जस्ट ए
हर कोई अपने।
मीडियम, निमित जो आप वर्ड यूज कर रहे थे, टू गेट
करेक्ट।
हिम इनटू द जॉब, नो, अदरवाइज ही वुडंट हैव गॉन देयर।
Exactly. So the first friend became the medium to get a job to this second friend of yours. एंड हर कोई मीडियम होता है, राइट? अभी
हाँ।
अभी मैं अभी अपने एक फ्रेंड से बात कर रहा था एंड शी सेड कि अभिषेक, आपसे बात करते करते मुझे मेरे इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस का आंसर मिल गया, व्हिच आई वाज प्रेइंग कि आई नीडेड दिस आंसर, द क्लैरिटी इन माय लाइफ। एंड while talking to them, and she did not share any question, Gaurav, beautifully, never ever said that I have a question. While talking to her during conversation, she got all the answers that she was looking for. So what I became here, I became the medium. I became that Nimit for her to answer that most of us understand, but some of people, I mean, not everybody understand the same way. And that's where I am trying to bring the focus through this podcast, that self-awareness is must, is the key ingredient of our life. It's not good to have, it's must to have this virtue, that in our life, if I'm aware how I'm feeling, so people react. आज की डेट में आप देखो, आप दिल्ली जाओ, बैंगलोर जाओ, कहीं भी आप आओ, थोड़ी सी गाड़ी में टक्कर हो जाए, कुछ थोड़ा सा कुछ आगे पीछे हल्का सा टच हो गया, पीपल आर रेडी टू फाइट, पीपल आर moving up as a emotional garbage. I'm sorry using this term because people are moving like that. आप उनको टच करो एंड सारे जो खराब इमोशंस है हमारे अंदर के, चाहे वो हमारे अंदर का एंगर है, जेलसी है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन है, एंग्जाइटी है, फटीग है, टायर्डनेस है, यू नेम इट, अनवर्दीनेस है, हेल्पलेसनेस है, वो सब बाहर आ जाता है। और वो किस पे आता है? जिसने टच किया, गलती से टच हो गया, थोड़ा सा पिन पॉइंट हो गया, एंड द पर्सन विल बर्स्ट लाइक लाइक अ मिसाइल।
True. I mean, we see it every day. I mean, people are really, really full, these days. I mean, of
So
anger, frustration, and everything, and it's just ready to explode in a way.
रेडी टू एक्सप्लोर, सो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, कि आप जब शांति से बैठोगे, सो अगेन कमिंग बैक टू व्हाट यू आस्क्ड, शांति से बैठना, इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करना, 10 मिनट का एक मेडिटेशन can be a game changer, can be a life compass for everyone. This is what I tell everyone, each one teach one, that's all. आप सीखो, घर में किसी एक को सिखाओ, वो इंसान फिर अगला किसी एक को सिखाएगा, दैट्स हाउ विल क्रिएट अ चेन, वेर आप समझो कितनी अच्छी बात होगी, वेर ऑल ऑफ अस आर स्टेइंग इन अ वेरी माइंडफुल फैमिली।
Hmm.
लाइफ चैलेंजेस तो कम नहीं होने वाले हमारे लाइफ के, राइट? एवरीवन इज फेसिंग देयर ओन बैटल्स इन द फाइट इन बिहाइंड द कर्टन। That's the reason we say we should never ever judge a book by its cover. तो सबकी लाइफ में क्या स्ट्रगल चल रहा है, क्या फाइट चल रही है, गौरव, वी डोंट नो। बट इफ वी आर लिविंग वेरी माइंडफुली, वेरी, I'll say, being aware and being very emotionally grounded, I know it's easier said than done, but it's doable. I have done it, I have been doing. And wherever you lose your temper, you take a pause and you take a step back to think about it.
But what is the company's role? I mean, in people development and everything. I mean,
Okay.
between choosing profitability, आज के मतलब मैं, I mean, my brother obviously works in MNCs. Couple of my cousins also work in MNCs. The kind of things that they get from their company are amazing. But it is not possible for a small company to invest so much in people development. And कहीं ना कहीं वो लाला कल्चर sort of comes into the forefront कि भैया तुम्हें तनख्वाह दे रहे हैं, यही हिसाब है। So,
नहीं, ये वाला माइंडसेट चेंज तो करना पड़ेगा गौरव, बिकॉज आई टेल यू व्हाट, हम जिनको कह रहे हैं कि भाई आप हमारे लिए काम कर रहे हो और आप बस आप तनख्वाह लो, हम आपको तनख्वाह दे रहे हैं आपके काम के लिए, एंड दैट्स हाउ आर एसोसिएशन इज ऑल अबाउट। आई थिंक ये सोच हमें बदलनी पड़ेगी, फॉर अ रीजन दैट वट एवर पीपल दैट वी आर वर्किंग विद, जो भी हमारी टीम है, हमारे हमारे कलीग्स हैं, यहाँ पे आप, मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, कस्टमर रिटेंशन की बात करते हैं, ठीक है? कस्टमर रिटेंशन या कस्टमर, हम बात करते हैं कि कस्टमर रिलेशन हम कैसे मेंटेन कर रहे हैं। आप सोचो, जो उस टीम में लोग हैं, अगर इफ दे आर वेरी एंशियस और दे आर वेरी टायर्ड, दे हैव लॉट ऑफ फटीग, दे आर नॉट इमोशनली ग्राउंडेड इन काम, टेल मी, विल दे बी एबल टू मैनेज एन इफेक्टिव क्लाइंट रिलेशन? कर पाएंगे क्या वो बात करके, वो रिलेशन, वो कहीं ना कहीं उनके बॉडी लैंग्वेज में, उनके टोन में, उनके फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन पे वो झलक आ ही जाएगी दैट दे आर नॉट हैप्पी, दे आर नॉट अलाइंड टू व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, एंड वट एवर दे आर डूइंग इट इज जस्ट एट द सर्फेस लेवल। आप समझ रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? तो ये पहली सोच जो हम कल्चर की बात करते हैं ना गौरव, कि हाँ हमें अपने लाइफ, हमारे हमारे कंपनी की कल्चर बदलनी है। द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग आई ऑलवेज टॉक टू ऑल द लीडर्स इज प्लीज वॉक द टॉक, वट एवर यू से प्लीज लीड बाई एग्जाम्पल, डू नॉट टॉक द टॉक। यथा राजा तथा प्रजा, अगर हमारी राजा सही नहीं है, मार्क माई वर्ड, इनग्रेव दैट ऑन पीस ऑफ स्टोन, हमारी प्रजा ठीक नहीं होगी। बिकॉज राजा को देख के ही प्रजा ठीक होती है। अगर हमारे राजा ठीक नहीं है, अगर हमारी जो मेंटालिटी है बहुत टिपिकल लाला मेंटालिटी की, बॉस हम पैसे दे रहे हैं आप काम कर रहे हो, दैट्स ऑल, आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड अबाउट योर एंगेजमेंट, योर अलाइनमेंट विद अस, योर मेंटल हेल्थ, योर हैप्पीनेस, इट्स नॉट सस्टेनेबल गौरव, अनफॉर्चुनेटली।
ट्रू,
जो
ट्रू।
आप
एंड
एमएनसी की बात कर रहे हो,
you can't even then, you know, attract that sort of talent also, no? फिर आपको कल टैलेंट भी वैसा ही मिलेगा जो कहेगा ठीक है 6 बजे के बाद आग लग जाए मेरे को क्या है, यू नो।
एग्जैक्टली।
सो
सो आप जो मेरे कंपनी की बात कर रहे थे कि टीपीजी में हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, हम लोग कैसे करते हैं, जो हमारी जो मेथोडोलॉजी है, जो हमारा इंटरवेंशन है ना, मैं आपको बहुत बेसिक एग्जांपल देता हूँ। सो फॉर एन एग्जांपल सब्जेक्ट लाइक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट, कि भाई मैं टीम के लिए कर रहा हूँ हाउ टू मैनेज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट। अब या तो मैं उसमें सिर्फ फ्रेमवर्क से ही आपको पढ़ा दूं कि हाँ भैया थॉमस किलमैन है, द 5 quadrants and you'll have to stick around collaboration and compromise and all of it, or I will make you see that why conflict happens। ठीक है, मैं आपको इमोशनल साइड दिखाऊंगा उसका, आपको इमोशनल रेजिलियंस का थोड़ा सा पार्ट बता के आपको मैं बताऊंगा कि हमारे बीच में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्यों होता है, हम जो ह्यूमन हैं, हाउ वी आर डिजाइंड। और मैं किस बात से मुझे बुरा लग सकता है, किस बात से मुझे मुझे चिढ़ हो सकती है, किस बात से मैं इरिटेट हो सकता हूँ, किस बात से मुझे गौरव की कुछ बात अच्छी नहीं लग सकती है, and how we can fix it by holding a very transparent communication। So it has to, so I what I do is I include, and I'm sure people जो भी जिन्होंने भी अटेंड किया है मेरे सेशंस में, the one of the best feedbacks that I have received so far Gaurav is, Abhishek, whenever I come out of your session I have a lot of questions for myself।
I have a
So
lot of questions.
I have a lot of questions for my own self, for my own
Nice.
introspection।
Very nice.
So I said
That's
that's
the
one of the
starting of being self-aware, no?
absolutely. So that's how I design my program, that when people walk out of the session, they go out with a lot of self-awareness, a lot of food for thought, a lot of questions for themselves to introspect and think about it. Rather than just attending one of the sessions wherein मेरे पास theory है, मेरे पास framework है, मैंने case study discuss किया, all of it. But I also give a tool, a complete tool of being aware। मैं उनको doable things बताता हूँ। People say आप meditation करो, आप mindfulness करो, but I bring in the practice of how to do that। So that is the USP that I bring in as an
Nice.
organization।
Nice. One last question, I wanted to sort of ask you, uh, how have you changed, like through all this? I mean, I'm sure you've done a lot of soul searching yourself. I'm sure you've done a lot of studies. You must have gone through a lot of transformation within yourself, not just external, but internal. How has that been like, Just give me a little detailed version of that. I'm personally very interested in that.
Uh, okay, so I'll give you a very soul stirring example. So when I was in Gurgaon, one of the companies that I was working with, I was given a task to ramp up the process of 450 employees. And you can imagine that as an HR, the task that I was given to conclude the entire chapter of the process, that particular big process of 450 employees and settling their
Of
FNF.
firing those 450 employees.
Yes, I didn't want to use that word purposefully. Uh, there, when I was doing this, I was facilitating this entire process, employee talking to me one on one across the table, crying and saying, "Sir, I'm the sole bread earner of my family। मैं हरियाणा से हूँ, मैं हिसार से हूँ, मैं यहाँ से हूँ, मैं वहाँ से हूँ, मैं यूपी से हूँ। आई एम द सोल ब्रेड अर्नर एंड इस जॉब के बाद मेरे पास अभी कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, कोई नोटिस पीरियड नहीं है, मेरा एफएनएफ कब आएगा"। इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस, टॉकिंग टू देम, मैनेजिंग देयर इमोशंस, 450 एम्प्लॉयज का करते करते, गौरव, आई कांट टेल यू व्हाट आई हैव बिकम एट द एंड ऑफ 2.5
Must have
months.
changed you like crazy. I mean,
It was like, is it what I'm meant for? Is it something that I'm supposed to do that?
while you were
I
saying it, I could feel my soul being stirred. Like 450 employees at a go, you're talking to them, people crying. It really, really makes you uncomfortable.
Absolutely. And then you are listening to them without interrupting. You cannot say that because it's all their emotional reaction to anyone who will be losing job on a very short notice or no notice. और उनकी सैलरी कितनी हो रही है? 15,000 रुपीज, 20,000 रुपीज।
Mm.
सो वो वाला जो चैप्टर था ना, दैट एक्चुअली स्टर नॉट माई emotion, that stirred my soul actually. And that's when I decided that I want to get into an HR which is in, I'm not saying which is right or wrong, Gaurav. Perhaps that side of HR that did not suit me. I'm not designed for that particular role. So nothing is right or wrong. There's nothing right or wrong or good or bad or ugly. Nothing. Everything is has its own role in their life. मेरे लिए वो role नहीं था. And that's where I started pivoting into a different role, maybe employee engagement, employee communication, employee retention. That was the kind of role that I started looking up. I started setting up with the L&D heads there. I started talking to the IJP joiners. So मेरा inclination फिर L&D की तरफ ज़्यादा होने लगा वहाँ से. एंड आई स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग, मैं कहाँ कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता हूँ? क्या मैं सिर्फ टीए कर सकता हूँ? क्या मैं सिर्फ ऑनबोर्डिंग कर सकता हूँ? क्या मैं सिर्फ एम्प्लॉय कम्युनिकेशन रिटेंशन कर सकता हूँ? व्हाट एल्स कैन आई डू दैट इन अ बेटर वे? सो दैट शिफ्टेड. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से हियर इज, हमारे बाहर जो भी शिफ्ट होता है ना, हमारी पर्सनालिटी में जो शिफ्ट होता है ना गौरव, इट ऑलवेज शिफ्ट बिकॉज हमारे अंदर कुछ शिफ्ट होता है. And that has to be emotional shift, or it could be your mindset shift. It could be the way you look at it. May be the need of judging anyone. वो requirement मेरी drop हो जाती है. I don't feel like judging anyone. I don't feel like labeling anyone. I just focus on my journey. I just focus on where I'm heading. मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ, मैं कैसे कर रहा हूँ, मैं किसके लिए कर रहा हूँ? मैं सिर्फ अपनी फैमिली के लिए कर रहा हूँ, मैं सिर्फ अपने लिए कर रहा हूँ, या जो मैं कर रहा हूँ उससे आसपास के लोगों को भी भला होगा या हो सकता है? सो व्हेन वी आस्क सच डीपर, elaborated, introspective, thought provoking, tough questions to ourselves, mark my word, Gaurav, we are the moving universe. हम चलते फिरते यूनिवर्स हैं. हमारे अंदर सारे आंसर्स हैं. हमारे अंदर सारा विजडम है. जस्ट दैट लॉर्ड बुद्ध सेड, हमारे अंदर सबके अंदर वो बौद्ध एलिमेंट हमारे सबके अंदर है. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर ब्लेस्ड विद. जिन्होंने प्रयास किया, जिन्होंने कोशिश की, दे कुड अवेकन दैट एलिमेंट ऑफ दैट बुद्ध एलिमेंट, द अवेयरनेस, द एनलाइटनमेंट साइड ऑफ ह्यूमन.
True.
तो जो जिन्होंने नहीं किया, जिन्होंने, वो अनयूज्ड है, वो अनलेवरेज्ड है, सिंपल. अगर आप उसको करोगे, आप उसको तराशोगे, यू विल बिकम सच अ वर्जन दैट पीपल विल फील कि यार गौरव क्या हो गया. मतलब आई मीन ही हैज बिकम सच अ फाइनेस्ट वर्जन ऑफ हिमसेल्फ इन
True.
5 years, 10 years, ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सबकी जर्नी अलग अलग है. सो किसी को हो सकता है 1 साल में वो चीज़ मिल जाए, किसी को 3 साल लगे, किसी को 5 साल लगे, किसी को 10 साल लगे. सबकी जर्नी अलग है. सो मेरे अंदर चीज़ें बहुत बदली. 2017 आई वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस टू माइंडफुलनेस. 2018 नवंबर आई वॉज इनिशिएटेड एंड आई बिकेम अ हीलर, मास्टर हीलर. And since then, whatever I have become in the process, it's a great miraculous journey. That's all I can say. And wherever I go, I always tell people, एक 10 minutes का मेडिटेशन करने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है, बिकॉज इट्स योर लाइफ.
Mm.
आप, हम स्क्रील रोल करते हैं, आई मीन हम स्क्रोलिंग करके किए जा रहे हैं, माइंड हमारा बिल्कुल, वी जस्ट गेट ग्लूड टू द रील स्क्रोलिंग. 2-2 घंटे, 2.5-2.5 घंटे हम रील स्क्रोल करते हैं. दस
पता
मिनट
भी
भी
नहीं
खत्म
क्यों
कर
कर
दिया.
रहे हैं.
हाँ, कुछ पता नहीं है, हमें पता कुछ भी नहीं है. हम खाना खाते हैं, हमें पता नहीं कि हमारे फूड में कितने कलर्स हैं, हमारा कॉफ़ी और चाय कैसा टेस्ट कर रहा है. हम डीप ब्रीदिंग कर रहे हैं, शैलो ब्रीदिंग कर रहे हैं, हम कॉन्शियस ब्रीदिंग कर रहे हैं, कुछ पता नहीं है, बस हम जिए जा रहे हैं. We are just existing. We are not aware. And that's where I come back and always say, please be aware of your existence. Please be aware of your presence. Be aware of who you are, what you're becoming in the process.
Actually, some of these things I need to implement in my life also. You know.
हम
Great,
सबों को
Abhishek.
जरूरत है गौरव. हम
Uh,
सबों को जरूरत है इन सबों को इम्प्लीमेंट करने की. इवन आई एम स्टिल इन द प्रोसेस. दैट्स से आई से दैट आई एम अ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्नर. Not because just I'm a healer, so I learned everything. No, every day is a discovery day. Every day is a day that I feel, no, every day I have to become a better version of myself.
Perfect. Absolutely. It's been really good, yeah. It's been really, Abhishek, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful session, wonderful talking to you. I
Same here,
mean,
Gaurav.
few of the things have actually, made me introspect myself, made me self-aware. The last bit that you spoke about scrolling, I mean, I'll give you an example. My daughter watches TV, YouTube and all that stuff. So I'm like, तेरे को पता भी है कि तू क्या देख रही है? नहीं. मतलब वो टीवी चल रहा है, शी इज लॉस्ट इन हर ओन वर्ल्ड, मे बी डूइंग समथिंग, and I mean, unless and until you switch off the TV, she won't do it that herself.
Yeah, right.
But and even if you switch off the TV, she won't mind it because she's not even aware of what's happening in the TV because she is
Right.
lost in her own world, being a kid.
True. And
So,
that's the biggest reason that we, all of us, get zoned out in no time. अगर आप देखो तो लोगों को ना zoning out वाली प्रॉब्लम अब बहुत लोगों को हो रही है. They just get zoned out in no time.
true,
एंड उनको ये भी नहीं पता कि क्यों जोन आउट हो गए. आप उनसे बात करोगे, आर यू देयर, इज एवरीथिंग फाइन, या व्हाट आर यू थिंकिंग, नो नो आई एम देयर, आई एम देयर. बट मैं कहाँ हूँ, मैं क्या सोच रहा हूँ, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मुझे कुछ पता नहीं है.
true. I mean, you do scrolling for 1 hour, and at the end of 1 hour, you ask yourself, मैं क्या देखा? And you probably won't have an answer to it. I mean, you've been just mindlessly, scrolling and becoming addicted and all that stuff. I mean,
तो
some
हमारा
of
वो
it applies to me
कंजम्पशन,
also.
जो है ना, हमारा जो जो कंटेंट कंजम्पशन है, वो भी हमें बना रहा है, वो भी हमें बना रहा है, बिगाड़ रहा है. इट्स मेकिंग और ब्रेकिंग अस समवेयर, गौरव, पैसिवली. सो दैट्स ऑल वी नीड टू बी अवेयर ऑफ. हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं, किसके लिए कर रहे हैं, एंड व्हाट इज द फ्यूचर ऑफ इट बेसिकली. तो स्पीड एंड डायरेक्शन दोनों बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्लैरिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
True.
डिसिप्लिन बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो ये सारी चीज़ें, इफ़ वी डू दैट, दैट्स वेयर वी कैन क्राफ्ट एंड मेक अ लाइफ वेरी ब्यूटिफुल एंड वर्थ चेरिशिंग.
Great. Thank you so much, Abhishek. It's been lovely talking.
सेम
I
हियर.
definitely look forward to connecting with you again.
सेम हियर, गौरव. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम. वंडरफुल, वंडरफुल मीटिंग यू.
Thank you. Take care.